Hey guys, welcome in to another episode of the Out of Our Minds podcast. Make that the new intro. We should
Perfect.
sing for the intro.
I know, why not?
We get a
Make
lot
a
of
mix.
comments about you guys liking the intro song, which is also a freaking bop. Welcome in. You just landed in a powerful, powerful episode that is going to liberate you. If you are someone who is feeling the edge, you're in that expansion period, you're doing something edgy, we are dropping into a powerful conversation on the energetics of expansion and what it is that you can expect when you are on this road of leaning into the unknown, doing things that are out of your comfort zone. And we also are bringing in a very important topic that couples with this conversation that goes a bit more specific about the discomfort of being misunderstood as you step further into that realm of the unknown. You step further into your truth. Maybe you're doing something where you're sharing your voice, you're on a journey of entrepreneurship or building a new paradigm, a new life that feels like it is something that is, it can be very easily misunderstood or judged. This is actually a very sacred part of the process of expansion and coming into alignment with your truth. So we're going to drop into a really deep combo on this. And we also share this really interesting kind of channeled lesson that includes us understanding this spectrum of being misunderstood. You have your people that fully get it, and then you have your people that don't get it at all, and all the people in between. And there's actually a very divine reason that all of these beings exist. They're mirrors into our expansion, into our locking in to our authenticity. And you'll understand that more when we tap into that in the episode. I also wanted to say here that we have officially opened up the doors for Portal Round 2. I feel like I'm getting emotional.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I cannot believe we're here. The first round was freaking bananas. And by the time this episode comes out, I think it will be the last day of the retreat, right?
No, this will be the 13th.
The week before. So we'll be just
the
about
Monday
to go into
before
the
the
retreat.
retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in the vortex right now by the time this is out. So we have officially opened the doors for Portal Round 2. And you'll see that we have a very special offer for you depending on when you're listening to this. We actually put a link below that includes all the information on the different dates that you can come in and join and the different prices. If you are interested in learning more about that 6-month group experience, you can also head to the link below to find out more information on that. But this is pretty much just our signature program that we have run for the first time this summer, and it was incredible. It's for the souls that are really ready to activate that creator consciousness in a completely new way and at a new level. And yeah, I'll leave that there. Definitely feel free to click the link below and find out more information on it. It's going to be insane. It's going to be freaking insane. So thank you guys so much for being here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, the follow button if you're listening on Apple Pod, and we'll see you inside the episode. We love you guys.
Green. Every once in a while, you just have to bring it back.
You just gotta let it rip. So I feel like we're in kind of the middle of an initiation right now. I feel like we're in a major expansion period.
Yeah.
Like the stretch before you stabilize. We've had so many, I mean, we're constantly evolving and constantly growing. I feel like I can look back at chapters of our journey where there was like the discomfort, the shedding, and then, okay, an intention of what we want to create. And then we're like creating it. We're in the flow of creation. And then you feel the expansion of kind of stabilizing into the new reality of what you just stretched into. And yeah, I definitely want to dive further into this kind of part of that expansion, a part of that initiation, because I feel like just talking about it is going to be super healing. And I want to give everyone a really big permission slip to feel into the freedom of just allowing themselves to be more them and to understand that a part of that path is to be polarizing and to actually be misunderstood by people. So I'm curious what you're currently feeling like in your life right now with the expansion that you're in and you honing deeper in on your genius, going into a field of study that could be considered like taboo and kind of crazy if people are looking at it from the
Yeah.
outside. This is the initiation that you're personally in of really owning the fact that you will be misunderstood by people. But I'm curious if you can share more about what it's feeling like internally for you and then how you're seeing that energy of being misunderstood by others.
Yeah.
You're like, where do I start?
Yeah, what you said though, that I was thinking about how I think we talked about this offline the other day when we were like kind of having a healing conversation just between the two of us around the expansion that we're feeling, of how you like build a floor, you're like go through the building phase, and then you land on that floor and you party on it and you're like, great, I'm comfortable here, this is lit. And you're like, let's build another floor. And I was just saying to you how that's the energetic, that's the expansion that goes over and over and over. And it's kind of more like from the center out, like emanating out. But yeah, I this one feels like we're at a pro level of this, because this is like rep number whatever. Like we're in the like there's so many ways to track it, but if you were just to call it like, almost seeing like 6-month periods of us, especially with OM as a business, and then I'll get into on the personal note, but OM as a business, us as teachers, as leaders, running a program, like there's these spurts that we grow, build, expand, and then we settle into it. It feels good. We're like crushing it there. And then inspiration comes in, and there's like a next round basically of, okay, expand in this way. And because we've been through many reps of this already, it still feels very uncomfortable. And I actually think like the scale almost of the discomfort feels like it's bigger. But at the same time, I feel so equipped because I know what this is, right? Like I know what
Yeah.
the voices are. I know what's happening here. Yes, I still feel it though, and have moments where I'm like, wow, like I'm feeling it. So it's really interesting and just cool because of the way that we're able to tap into observer consciousness like so often. Like literally just think about throughout the day, like, oh wow, my little self is feeling this. And then you're in the feeling, and then you pull out of it and you see the higher perspective and all of that. That is feeling like a real dance. Like we are pro ballroom dancers right
Yeah.
now, and we're moving. And yet we're still learning new steps now because we're at a part of the dance floor that we've not yet been to, or that has felt more elusive until now. And I think that's just like really cool to talk about that. In the past, you would feel it, you feel the discomfort, but it was almost like you were in the earlier stages. I was in the earlier stages of getting the reps in to just understand what expansion energetics even are. And now it's like both sides are stronger. So it's just interesting because it's not like it goes away. I feel like both aspects literally get stronger. Like the discomfort, the scale of it, the voices that come up, you're like, wow, that's a big one. But then also you got this massive tool belt and like anchored feeling that you're going to be able to handle it.
Hmm.
So that's the first part. I'm curious if you have anything coming through there, and then I can share about like the personal angle of what's been coming up given the field of like, yeah, study that I'm kind of going into right now and the projects that I'm working on.
Hmm. Yeah. I feel like you just are always expanding. And this is the biggest illusion of this, right? Like people are seeking that moment where it's like the arrival of feeling like, oh, I can feel okay right now. When
Mm.
really you're on this constant journey of expanding and growing that you can perceive through a negative lens of like, what the heck, when does this ever stop? When you really look at the energetics of like our soul expansion, it actually doesn't ever stop. And you can be conscious of it or you can be unconscious of it. And there's literally no right or wrong. It just kind of is. There's things in our life that we're not consciously thinking about expansion with, that we're just naturally expanding through.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the realm of like entrepreneurship and what we're doing, we are very consciously expanding and using the business journey as like a portal of spiritual remembering. And
Yeah.
I feel like with that, there's this common kind of misconception that you just arrive at this point where you have no fears, where you feel like totally okay and yeah, fearless kind of. But that's just a
Mm-hmm.
moment where you're on the dance floor feeling comfortable with the floor that you just built. And that's the period that
Right.
we were in like over the summer. We were like cruising in the portal, having so much fun with the community. And
Yeah.
it felt super stabilized. Like we were traveling, but still serving. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
serving as like being of service, but also like
I know
serving.
sometimes I picture us being like serving, like looking good.
You know what I mean.
We
But
were
when you're
serving fits. Bella found that she loves linen outfits.
truly serving in all the ways. Wait, we got our same little Yeti cups.
Cute. Mine's mini though, like very mini.
Oh, I have that size too in pink actually. This is a size up.
I have that size also.
Yeah, I feel like I use more milk with my matchas.
I made this one purposefully small because I want it to be like a mini dose,
Yeah, that's your
but
second.
it's very strong. Anyway, sorry.
So when you're on that floor and you're like relaxed, yes, you feel okay. But here's the thing, you're just becoming a pro at understanding the game of expansion, where you recognize that when the fears come up and the discomfort, that you're just moving on to another level. And it's just another level of your shedding. Because we can
Yeah.
sit here all day and release limitations, right? Like all freaking day. We got a whole kind of like library of them. We wouldn't be here if we didn't. And it's like a fun game that we play where you can choose to do that consciously, or you can just let life do it for you, which I am of the notion that like let yourself consciously choose to evolve so that life doesn't
Yeah.
hit you with which life is still gonna life, right? Like
Yeah.
there's still gonna be moments that are surprises, and there's I still think there are things in our path that are just like things we signed up for before. Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole
Yeah,
other
this is
conversation.
happening in a very guided way. Like
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
not like we're in here like controlling and like preemptively trying to like catch up to the expansion. Like no, this is also happening because we're being guided and there's
Right.
things that come up we're not planning for,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not controlling the journey. You're just choosing to be on it. So
Totally. Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing that I want to share just with this part of the conversation of what you're drawing attention to is when you have awareness over the seasons of life and you understand when you're about to, like how I just shared in my recent YouTube video about the dip before the leap, it's like where the expansion feels super stretchy and you're like visiting those thoughts and it feels like someone turned up the dial on the fears and the discomforts. And it really is a sacred initiation where you can either believe those voices and turn around, or you can freaking alchemize it and turn it into power. And you and I are like waking up each day feeling that energy. I think I've
Mhm.
shared this. I don't know if it was on a recording or if I shared this with you personally, but there are times in bed where I can literally, like before I'm going to bed, feel like what I used to label as anxiety, but I can feel the energy like expanding my nervous system, and I can feel the newness of what it is that I'm creating. Like there was a period when I was in my I'm still in the 30-day YouTube challenge, but at the beginning of it, there was a period where I was laying in bed after posting one of my videos and I was just feeling all of this energy of expansion, and then automatically the thoughts in my head were like, wow, you're really putting yourself out there and sharing a lot about your life. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, what if people are judging? What if no one wants to be friends with you because you're sharing so much of your life? Like, you're offending people or talking about this through this lens. And it was wild how that energy of expansion can be interpreted by the brain as this negative thing that needs to be avoided. And what we're painting the
Mm.
picture of is that it's very natural. And if you understand the energetics of expansion, you actually can alchemize the energy into like a deeper, locked in remembering, which is what you and I are both experiencing right now.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So then to kind of connect this to the main topic here that was coming through, which is around like I'll share what's personally coming up and you can too, because then it's around this theme of being misunderstood, right? And this like next level of I'm seeing it as when you become even more aligned with your pure essence, and then what sort of is like the rollout of that. And what happens is this dynamic of being misunderstood and being polarizing, which we'll explain.
Mm.
So, yeah, on a personal level, I'm kind of like as a student, I basically am like advancing on my studies and I'm going into fields, new fields, and also like deeper into ones I've been in, which for me is, a lot around soul blueprints. So human design has been a big field I've been in. Gene keys. Gene keys really led me then down to this concept of DNA awakening, DNA activation, genius activation. And now I'm finding myself studying many fields at once that are all relating to basically unleashing higher capabilities that human beings hold. One of those fields that's part of that is sacred geometry. There's understanding quantum electrodynamics and the nature of light. Like I'm going down fields that also I feel very uncomfortable in because they're challenging to me. And through that, and the context of this is also that I'm writing my first book. And now I'm also, after being inspired by Nikki, back on YouTube, putting teachings on there. I'm working on a foundational course that's going to be like my like signature genius activation method. And as I go further into what I'm doing,
Which, by the way, you should create like a wait list for and put it at the bottom of this show notes. The genius activation.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
So if you guys are interested in her little mini course that she's making, go to the link below and get on the wait list.
Go check that. And because you guys are OASIS, whenever that gets launched, I'll definitely make sure to mention in an episode like a code for you guys since you're part of our fam here. Because I just love you so much. Thank you for that. So yeah, because of all that, what's happening is I'm tapping more into my unique soul essence, what I am here to do. And it's like a next level, or I'm seeing also a visual of like even more into like my coherent state, like seeing like all the pieces just click in even more, like an even more potent version of Bella is like coming alive. It's less diluted. It's like even more locked in. And what I'm now going through and studying and learning and teaching is feeling edgy and is feeling like, oh, like these are some concepts that some people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And are going to be like not understood by everyone. And because I feel like as sort of like the teacher part of my identity and having that be public facing, I'm feeling the discomfort of putting that out, and also that it's going to be housed in this book that is like going places that I 6 months ago like did not even like fully understand or conceptualize. So to that end, it's bringing up a lot of ego stories and fears and discomfort around being wrong or that someone's going to like think I'm crazy. All flavors of like ego being like, are you just like full of shit? Do you know what the fuck you're doing? Do you even understand this? What if you're like completely wrong? People are going to think you're a dum-dum. Like all this stuff that's coming up. And Nikki pointed out this like whole concept that inspired this episode today of daring to be misunderstood. And I feel like at this point I would love for you to like jump in and start to tie and like either share your personal part or just like point out the energetics that are happening here, which I started to touch on of what starts to happen when you sorry, 1 second.
Well, if you're not watching on video, Zara is making a guest appearance. Wow, I am just in shock with how big she is every time I see her.
She's huge. She's 65 pounds. 65 pounds and she wants to sit on my lap right now. She's like, Mom, I think it's time to cuddle. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go put her in the crate, okay?
Oh, she heard the word.
She's like, please. Okay, sorry. I think you were.
Yeah, so I definitely do want to explain what's coming through for me. First off, I just want us to think about the fact that when we were first talking about spirituality on our Instagram pages and talking about these concepts of like the universe and manifestation, we went through the exact same initiation. And then
Yeah.
you stretch into these realities where then you're embodied in what it is that you know to be true. And then it becomes second nature, becomes a language.
Yes.
You're only reminded of like the contrast when you're around people that maybe aren't so tapped into this way of thinking about the world and this language.
Yes. Which
But I,
is also part of it for me, which I was telling you about. But yeah. Yeah.
right. So I just want to use that as a representation of just another level of what it is that we're both going through right now. But you're now
Yep.
dropping deeper into like, you were in this realm and now you're zooming in and dropping in deeper to a specific realm of teaching and talking about things
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
So
the
true.
language.
Yeah. And just really quick, it's so true to give air to that, because it's like I did experience a similar thing when I was going through my human design certification and I was bringing that in. I was like, this is so like different. I have not really brought in like a modality that is like this clear. And or it was more like I was shifting because I was really using Zen principles to like ground my work, and then I brought human design in, and it was that same thing
Right.
of like shifting, talking about a new thing on my Instagram, telling the people around me about this thing that like also 2 years ago was like kind of still new. Now it's very popular, but yeah, you're right. It's really like a next level, a deeper level. Yeah.
But even Zen, and I can relate with kind of the similar vibe I was talking about with like the Michael Singer teachings, Eckhart Tolle, those teachings can be, if anyone is open, can be understood at a baseline level by anyone who's willing to tap into that. Now we're tapping into realms of information that it's kind of, I don't want to use the word advanced, but I can't find any other word to describe it, where there's like a journey that we're on
Yeah.
where you can't just jump right from nothing to, I guess you can, like there's no such thing as these definite paths, but to go into DNA awakening and learning about genius activation, it feels like the spiritual journey of learning about consciousness would come before that, right?
Totally.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it's more like where the personal, like where, like for me, the angle that I'm coming to this part of it is happening because of the journey I've been on. Like, I'm not just learning about DNA through like the biology side. I'm learning about it from like the spiritual side and like the side that's related to vision and creativity, right? So I think everyone does have like they can track like the path that they have been on, and that's what, when you get to that deeper learning, is what makes it so authentic and unique. Like
Right.
that's the part that gets advanced, and how you're birthing something that is probably quite different and not yet tasted by people because you are bringing it through.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that actually is like really beautiful to see. But you can very much see the initiation that you're moving through right now just by looking at past experiences. And what I was talking about today was this acceptance of being misunderstood and judged and maybe being seen as crazy, because we went through the exact same thing. You did that in those moments where you were talking even about Zen teachings, right? I'm sure there was like a
Yeah.
little voice in your head of like, you were starting on your personal Instagram too. You didn't create a new account, right? So you had a bunch of high school
Yeah.
people following you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just went full send on that. But what I was really drawing awareness to for Bella and I invite you guys to really feel into this. Whenever you're on a path where you're leaning in and sharing your voice or creating even just a life that is non-conventional in today's definition of whatever the hell that even means, you're doing something out of the box, out of the norm. There is a sacred initiation of being misunderstood. And it's not that you need to attempt to look at all those people that are misunderstanding you and try to get them to understand you, because then you're straying off your path and you're going into a different line of consciousness, a different energy, which is totally fine too. Like that can be perfectly fine. But when you are like on a path where there's a mission and you're really feeling activated by like a field of study or a certain life that you're building, I would advise that you just check with where it is you're spending time thinking that every single person needs to understand what it is that you're doing. And to actually neutralize this idea that being misunderstood is a bad thing, because it's not. I see it as a really good thing now. And this has been liberating
Mhm.
for me, is to see where if I'm speaking about something that is misunderstood or can be seen through multiple different perspectives, or maybe there's like a fear of being seen as crazy, that's a good sign. It's a
Mhm.
sign that you're headed in a very authentic direction. And when you neutralize being misunderstood, the mind wants to list out all the negatives, right? We're going to be kicked out of the tribe. We're not going to have friends. People are going to make fun of us. You're going to look crazy. People are going to think that like you're stupid or an idiot or whatever it is that our subconscious wants to bring us back to, like past experiences of whatever energy has like remnants of the past there. And I see it as, let's sit here and list out all the positives of being misunderstood. For me, what I'm feeling into now is that you're dropping deeper into your authentic essence that creates such a coherent energetic signal that
Yeah.
either repels or magnetizes. And we experience this in our life in huge ways. We're just now hitting a new level of it. And to be okay with being misunderstood is to feel yourself get activated and kind of go into a little bit of a fight or flight with being judged or being potentially, yeah, not seen through the lens that you want people to see you through, which is something that I've been playing with in my own life. And I'm noticing where I was triggered, and just really hold yourself with compassion, because this is a journey, right? Like it comes up, it makes us feel uncomfortable. We're not supposed to be masters at this, right? When it comes up, you're listening to this episode for a reason. But I advise for you to think about all of the positive reasons for being misunderstood. And let's just play with this. Let's list some out right
Mm.
now. One of them is it's a sign that, like how I said, you're dropping into a more coherent energetic state within yourself and sending out a signal that is way stronger than what it was prior. And energetically, that's going to cause the repulsion and the attraction. Another reason being misunderstood is a good sign is that that means you are speaking out your truth in the face of, let's say, people in a room that aren't even ready to receive or in that kind of energetic state, or they're maybe living in a totally different paradigm, or you're living in this world. That means you're willing to speak out your truth even while you're in a room filled with people that are living in other worlds. And that's
Mhm.
a huge sign of a leader and someone who is here to build new paradigms, because we can't build new paradigms without speaking new things, you know?
Mm.
And those new things are going to be interpreted in so many different ways. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're interpreted in different ways. You're going to get the full range. You're going to have the people that hear what you're saying and they're already in that world. And these will be the people that will kind of guide you to that level of confidence. They'll be the mirror for the parts of you that already are locked
Mm.
in. You're going to have like the comments on your YouTube of people being like, yes, like I'm also studying this. And the language is there, their understanding of it. Then you're going to have the people that are reflective of like the part of you that's like kind of half on board, but open to
Mhm.
experiencing like the new chapter. And they're going to be the people that are like intrigued by your energy and by who you are. And that makes them open to receive what it is that you're talking about. And they'll be like really beautiful guides for you in your life that show you that there are people out there who are open to receive your codes and your wisdom. And they'll take more of like the student perspective. And there's a full spectrum of this. I can continue down the spectrum, but at the other end of the spectrum is the people who are not meant to receive. Actually, probably at the way end are people that just don't even interact with your energy at all. But somewhere between
Yeah.
that and what I was saying before is the type of archetype of person that is locked into other information. Not
Yeah.
that yours is better, theirs is like it's not a hierarchy thing. It's just other data and other light streams their consciousness is learning about and they're taking in, and it's suiting them in their evolution. And
Yeah.
it actually does not serve them to understand the codes that you are sharing. It actually is it's like a disservice. It interacts with what they're learning in a way that is a disservice. So in order for
Right.
them to like energetically protect themselves and to be in that stream of data and information that's actually serving them,
They have to repel it.
They have to repel it, and it has to be misunderstood. And it's not wrong because that repelled energy actually interacts with your field in a way where you lock in more, and then you draw in more students, you draw in more people who like fully freaking see you. So that's kind of like the energetics of being misunderstood, where I see it as like, oh, you're receiving the repelled energy, but then you get to take that and drop in deeper, which is what we're literally doing in this episode. That you guys are
Yeah.
also going to take away from this is the alchemy of being misunderstood. It's like a frequency and an energy, and you get to turn it into gold.
Yeah. And on that spectrum you're describing, there's so many other places you could zoom into and see a really beautiful alignment effect happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Then even think about, let's say, someone who's a couple degrees closer to being aligned with you, but they still don't get it. What you're gifting them by presenting a frequency, a teaching, a concept, a lifestyle that they don't understand is actually then sparking curiosity, because how many of us have entered a new, field of study or a lifestyle or whatever it is by seeing something being like, whoa, what is that? I don't understand this at all, but something is calling me toward it.
Mm.
That's a spark of energy. That's like something to play with. That's like for me as a student, it's like a really cool feeling when I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm meant to learn this, but I honestly have no effing idea what this is. What do the terms mean? Can I even handle learning this? That is such a gift that someone was so dropped into their field and their thing and their lifestyle and their frequencies that then me receiving it felt catalyzed by it
Right.
to then make my choice, my personal choice of alignment to go into that or away from it. And that's like
Right.
this cool spectrum you just illustrated. And yeah, this is so powerful because it just really helps you feel into all all the ways that your alignment assists with other people's alignment, but doesn't have to be just like the rainbows and butterflies. It's like
Mm.
actually someone even finding you, interacting with you, and being like, I don't like that at all. That gifts them the opportunity to lock into their own thing. And then
Yes.
guess what? When they're more in their alignment, actually, they will be less triggered by people of the opposite. We've
And
experienced this too.
that's harmony.
And that's, yes. And that's where it's like everyone gets to live in their own little created reality, big or little created reality. And we have this feeling too, where it's like when you go through the initiation of finding your path, but you're at the part of the path where you're like not yet fully convinced about your own path, And then
Yeah.
someone comes along and questions the path and it's really triggering. But then as you get more locked into your own path, you are not as triggered by people living the literal opposite reality.
Right.
And that's another piece of it that's happening on both ends. Like we're all just gifting each other different ways to see a fuller picture of reality or to like have a deeper part of our ego excavated and to be looked at and transformed. Yeah, as I say this, I'm like, it makes sense. The energetics here are profound, that the more individuated you become, the more polarizing you become. That's actually you aligning also with very ever present mechanics of this reality
Mm.
overall,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like we were both dropping into some teachings from Dr. John DeMartini and him explaining like complementary opposites and the polarity and how, if you're pedestalizing someone for something, you're going to end up finding like the opposite trait that neutralizes them. And all of this is showing us the yin yang nature of reality and how we are meant to be like sometimes a pushing force
Right.
to then create that balance on the other side.
Oh my God. It's so cool to drop into. What we're dropping into is I can feel why it is we're in this stream of consciousness because we've been consuming Dr. DeMartini. I feel like we've been dropping into obviously a lot of like subconscious healing stuff with Sarah. And we're in this world where we are constantly zooming out and seeing the full tapestry of life.
Mm.
And what we are then doing is in a lot of our conversations, looking at what's happening on the human micro scale of like how the ego can interpret what's going on. But then we're zooming out and seeing from the higher perspective what's actually happening on like an energetic scale. And it's so wild because I can see how you being so focused in both the macro of understanding the universe, understanding individuality, and then I come in and talk about more of like the energetics and the emotional aspect and like what's happening with the subconscious filtering system. We're literally here building this full freaking construct. Like we have every
Yeah.
piece. And obviously there's more pieces. We don't have every single piece. I'm not going to claim that. But what I'm really seeing is the beauty of zooming out and neutralizing that we are becoming masters at. And this is when you can be in a life experience where you're doing something hard, you're feeling challenged, someone's judging you, someone's misunderstanding you, and you're able to see instead of looking like this, like how DeMartini will
Mm.
talk about, like you're not seeing the full picture if it's still charged. So zoom
Yep.
out and you just start to feel so neutral about things. This is what I've been tapping into with this kind of like energy of resilience. Like if it's late and I haven't done the YouTube video yet, I'll just be like, okay,
Mm.
like so what? I have a late night. I feel like I'll still survive. Like I feel like I'll still be okay. Like what if it's actually like a really good thing to like
Yeah.
stay, like what are the positives of this? And I've been playing with this whole neutralizing thing in my head in such
Wow.
beautiful ways where even just talking about like I don't know, like smoking cigarettes for example, like who says that's bad? I know you can argue about like health and stuff, but who are we to judge about what is good or bad and what is that doing for us? I don't know. Like of course there's
Yeah.
this is so nuanced. This is so
I
fucking
know.
nuanced. Like I'm really going into but I just
No, but I'm well, this thread you're pulling on is the magic of like when you find a charge around something that is we each know when there is something in our life that's present in our movie that is causing such a charge that it feels difficult to then make a clear decision on it. And
right.
that's what you're pointing out. This is like what I experienced with a personal healing recently around like my relationship with being around people drinking alcohol and through like seeing more information about the experience I had about why that was my experience. And by the way, that was inspired by the fact that it was so charged for me and so hard for me to even see a possibility that I could just be chill about people drinking around me.
Mm,
That was the invitation. So that's what we're speaking to. It's like, yes, then you can decide and come back to the ground level and say, oh, yeah, when I smoke cigarettes, it hurts my lungs. I'm going to stop doing that. But to get there and to feel like you're making that decision from a really grounded place, not from a reactive place that's trying to overcompensate to make a balance, it's like the natural, gentle way to just see the balance and then pick what side of this like scale, if you will, that you want to sit on.
cuz that's true sovereignty and discernment. And that's what DeMartini talks
Yes.
about is when you're at a neutralized place, you're not acting out of impulse. And he gives more of the scientific
Yeah.
reason of like the amygdala. Am I saying that right?
Mhm.
He talks
Mhm.
about the parts of the brain that are responsible for more reactive, like fight or flight responses. And it's really interesting when he talks about that because what you see is that it's not that you're becoming numb to life and just doing whatever the heck comes to mind. It's actually quite
Yeah.
the opposite.
Yeah.
You gain sovereignty to have this like free will where you're acting out of soul and not impulse.
Right. Because he says how this is what allows your intuition to be even more clear.
Right.
And this
Right.
is like the work that we did in the portal where we had that whole month dedicated to understanding intuition, but then also clearing out the stories or limitations, subconscious beliefs that would clog up intuition. And then
Right.
all of a sudden, you can hear the intuitive voice that will guide you pretty freaking effortlessly about drink, not drink, smoke, not smoke, diet, this, that. Like all of that is clear because then you tap into that voice that is trying to speak to you.
Yeah. It's wild. I've been having insane moments of I had a pretty wild healing last Friday around this fear of it has to do with body image and it was a lot of like the very classic societal stories of being thin is how you receive love and I healed this belief and came to this place of seeing that love does not come through a certain body size and it is wild. I feel literally I was going to tell you more of this on tomorrow when we have our call. I just want to incorporate what it is that I'm experiencing into what you're sharing. It is wild when you see the kind of impulse reactions be cleared away It's wild to see how it, I get this visual of someone like wiping off a foggy window where it was so foggy and you can like kind of see and you're like, okay, I know that I like, but then you clear it and you're just in this state of awe of,
Yeah.
whoa. It feels
Yeah.
like, and also the ripple effect. It's wild. I'll tell you more about this tomorrow and I'll drop into more of this on the off record. I feel like we should do a whole off record episode on the healing we've had with body and like physical self-love.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
you dropped
that would
into a
be-
bit of it on your solo that you released on the
Yeah.
off record today, which is
Yeah.
today is the 5th.
Oh, it's number 11. Number 11, it was released October 1st. Wednesday, October 1st.
Oh, okay.
Number 11. Solo from me.
Oh my god, I keep
And
getting
by the way, guys,
confused
just a
with-
quick what?
I keep getting confused with when the off record versus the regular is. I'm switching.
I know
them
we
in my
gotta
head.
we got a lot releasing. We got a lot going on. Just a quick note about what we're referencing. We're referencing the exclusive content that we release as part of our membership. And if you just go to the show description wherever you're listening, you're gonna find a link to join that. You can join that either through podcast player and have bonus content go straight to your podcast player, but we're also on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can get these bonus episodes on YouTube. It's all in the description. Everything that you need to know is there. So just check that out if you want bonus episodes every single week. And we also go live once a month and do the OASIS transmission, which is like a live podcast, and you bring your questions, your revelations. You get a really great feel of the community. So you can check all that out. It's omis.com/OASIS, or just go to the description.
Yeah, perfect. I feel like let's definitely drop into, because I just want to drop into a bit more of my personal journey with that. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's more of an off record,
Yeah.
like a sacred sharing moment. But the thing that I want to highlight here is that it is wild to see when you clear up the impulses and the actions that we take out of fear, how the discernment is just so, you don't even need to think about it. It's just in a
Yeah.
moment, you're just like, doop, doop, doop. It's wild. It is wild. So yeah, let's just go back to what we were talking about is this whole neutralizing effect of really zooming out and seeing the full picture of things. And what we're starting to zoom out with this topic is the notion of being misunderstood, this very uncomfortable feeling that can come up when maybe we get some sort of yeah, you know what this is actually reminding me of? I was just watching a TikTok of, her name's Sophie. Is it Sophie Burns? She's like an intimacy coach. I think I may have told you about her. We like follow each other on TikTok, and I feel like we've followed each other for a very long time and kind of have seen each other go on our path of being healers and coaches. And she just posted a video that someone came up to her and was like, don't you do like really weird sexual things for work? And she was like, by weird and sexual, you mean helping rape victims heal from trauma and reclaim their sovereignty and sexuality? And she literally said this as she's like blinking her eyes as she's talking to the camera. This is what she said to that girl. And
Wow.
it was just a moment of, it was literally right before we started recording, and I was connecting it to what we were talking about now, how these people will pop up, and it is such a sacred initiation. And I want you guys to start to see that whenever there's a discomfort that arises in your life, it is not to, you don't run.
Yeah.
And use your discernment here, because there are some times where you need to like really take a beat and step away from things. But what we're talking about here is this realm of authenticity and being yourself. And if you're diving into a field of study that's like taboo or whatever it is, a life that you're creating for yourself, this is the moment when you're in the cold plunge where your body's like, we got to get the heck out of here. We got to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
And you can see where this neutralizing comes into place, because if you're in the cold plunge and your body is saying, we're going to die in here, what are actually all the positives of staying in the cold plunge? Like what happens in that moment? Oh, we
Yeah.
expand our nervous system. We get this like really relaxing recharge of the cold water, whatever the heck the benefits are of the cold plunge. This is fresh on my mind because I had a client session this morning, and I was very clearly seeing that she's in this powerful chapter of her life where she's kind of being shocked with like little surprises by the universe of things that are making her feel a little bit dysregulated or in a fear state. And she was saying how she went in the cold plunge this morning, and I was like, it is the exact process of when you're in the cold plunge. And I had her describe what it was she did in that moment where her body was feeling that fight or flight of just, we need to get out of here. She was like, I tapped into my breath and I just reminded myself that I would be okay. And
Wow.
I feel like on this path, people are looking for that thing that's gonna like fix them. And I help me try it. Like, I never want to feel this way again. And I want to do this thing in my life. Help me like heal this thing so I don't feel this way. It's like, yes, do that, but also no, it happens in real time in the moment to moment thought processes and the way that we elevate our consciousness. Just like you can prepare and heal yourself to know that cold water isn't going to kill you and you can regulate yourself through all the Wim Hof methods and whatever. But at the same time, there is a real moment to moment process that is happening in that expansion that is only up to you and you only. There is no healer, there is no person that's going to come in and elevate your consciousness for you in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is awareness.
Yeah.
It's being able to, like how you're saying with the flower of life, go to the edge of the circle and like no one's going to push that pen out of that already grooved path besides you.
Yeah.
And that's evolution. That's how we evolve. It's like the beings that are doing that.
Yeah.
That's evolution.
Dude, it's fucking sick.
We're dropping into codes.
Yeah. Wow.
When you're blinking, I'm imagining that like vlog noise that people use when they're blinking of like the cartoon, like ding, 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 ding.
I do that a lot. I look off into the distance and I just
Ponder. Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious if there's anything else coming through for you that you would want someone to know on the path of being misunderstood. Anything that's fresh on your heart.
Yeah, I think this realm of being misunderstood is so powerful because I really keep getting this visual of the signal that is both felt within your own being and is sent out. Like imagining that there's this like pole in you and it's like running through all of your energy centers, and also seeing like the heart's energy get so powerful. And what makes it so powerful and strong and coherent and anchored is the more that you are aligning with your true nature. So it's just so powerful to think about how like the more you give yourself permission to niche down and go down that rabbit hole and that path and choose that lifestyle and move to a different city and like stir up all the stuff around you that's going to make you uncomfortable, like we've been talking about. It's like once the dust settles, it all comes into this like being that is literally just see this like really strong pulsating energy of alignment and individuality. And that's how you're going to pick up also the really unique, fascinating codes that only you can carry and only you can transmit in that specific way that you're meant to. And that's why then your genius and like your, even if you just think about it, like your skills up level because you're so dropped in to your lane and how you ride in that lane and how that lane looks to other people. And yeah, this is part of what I'm experiencing personally is I feel like I'm truly locking into another level of just what I, Bella Solina, I'm here to do. And then with that, feeling so connected to my guides and source and all of the energy that's around me. So it's like everything is expanding with you. Like it's not just you and your what insert here, like area or project or relationship. It's also then co-creation and the feeling of being taken care of and the next idea and opportunity. Like it all is flowering with you. And yeah, I just really encourage if you're someone who is feeling those discomforts and really is resonating with what we're speaking of here, just from our personal story or just the explanation of the energetics that's going on, lean in and just really embrace it because this is the good fucking stuff. Like this is also why if you've landed here in this world, you're meant to be going through this initiation like a pro, like a freaking professional. And it's just like getting good. Like I'm like rubbing my palms like a little evil genius. I'm like, this is where it's getting good. Like, oh, the stories are coming out, the discomfort. Like I was walking around my patio this morning, fully like hand on my heart and belly, and I was like tearing up a little bit, just letting my ego rip in my mind for a second. I was like, I'm scared. What's going on? And it felt so good to just own it and literally picture myself like on a dojo mat being like, yeah, like we're in it, dude. And
Yeah.
then get into my day and like you're saying, alchemize that power. Woo. Yeah. So just I'm congratulating anyone that's feeling those those stories come up, the discomfort, the feeling of being misunderstood. This is the gold. This is the gold.
Yeah. It's a part of your ego dying. Of course, it's going to feel
Yeah.
like a death. And you
Yeah.
can identify with the death or you can identify with the part of it that is dying out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And then the last thing actually that I wanted to share was this is where it's so affirming to have expanders. Just look at like anyone that you consider great or a remarkable human that achieved something or represents XYZ, like at whatever scale, degree, you're going to notice that they repel certain people and they
Yeah.
magnetize others, and that they are doing something that many people would say is like out there or different. And notice if that's why you love them so much or why you resonate with them.
Yes. Yeah.
That's such a powerful thing to realize. It's like, oh, hold up. Like, if I am here awakening the greatness in me, those that I see as great, I guarantee like they have the same thing going on where they are polarizing figure. And it's not always in like this dramatic way. It's just very discerning of like who their audience is, who it isn't. And even think about like you're at a dinner party and you bring up this famous author, like it's pretty common that some people like them and some people don't. That is literally the hallmark of greatness and of genius being expressed, is the polarizing effect of it.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about, as you're saying this, I think his name is Robert Icke, the guy who does the simulated simulated reality docuseries on Gaia.
Yeah.
He's like an older man in his 70s that is very well known for his theories on simulation theory. And he actually was a reporter on TV. I'm not remembering exactly what he did, if he was like a newscaster or he worked for like one of the major
Yeah.
networks.
Yeah.
And he had a part of his story that he told at the way beginning that was literally a full episode of his initiation of going into his genius.
Yeah.
And he had an entire chapter of his life where he was completely judged and shamed and ridiculed for his field of study that he was going into by the mainstream media. He was like a well-known joke. Like people would make fun of him. They showed a clip of people laughing at him on some sort of, I think it was like a famous late night show. I can't remember which one it was. But the whole episode was him talking about his initiation of being misunderstood. And
Wow.
that is reminding me of what you're saying, is reminding me of that. And I consider him someone who is quite the genius in his field. If anyone has ever watched his docuseries, I'm not remembering the exact name of it. David Icke is his name.
I was gonna say it was
David Icke, not Robert Icke.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, same. Greg Braden has those stories. Like
Yeah.
Joe Dispenza is like very, very. He has like a whole
Yeah.
cult of people that very much dislike him and his even in the spiritual space that he's repelling.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. It's really liberating because I mean, just think about on the opposite scale. I don't know many people who, if they make it their MO to be liked and understood by everyone, they're usually not like
Yeah.
a super fulfilled and loving everything. Like it doesn't feel good because it's kind of like a futile effort. Like it goes against the natural order.
Right.
I'm realizing. And I'm not saying that to shame it. Like, trust me, we've all gone through, we have those tendencies in us. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But if I was like giving you options of like what to aspire to and like the stories and things that might assist you a bit more, it's going to be the one that liberates you to be okay with being misunderstood, being polarized, having people that don't get it and that do. that is actually going to result in you feeling so whole, peaceful, secure, anchored, which is actually what the person who is trying to make everyone like them ultimately wants.
Right.
Just doing it through a coping mechanism because you're not seeing the full picture. When you see
Right.
the full picture, it becomes neutralized. And yeah, it's a powerful feeling to be in that. Like, that's why you're going to be, yeah, you just feel so deeply anchored in your beingness, in your life, in the path, in the timing. I mean, this is what me and you could go on about for days, just as almost being like a personal testimonial of like the life we live and our
Right.
teachings and what we do. Like, man, and there's no stone untouched. Like health, vitality, relationship, like all those things rise with you when you let
Right.
your internal system come into coherence and into alignment and then be expressed outward.
I'm even realizing for someone like Joe Dispenza, he is so locked into his mission and he's literally talking to thousands upon thousands of people at these events, helping people, hearing these stories of like, wow, I've cured my cancer with your books and your teachings. And then you have this whole world of people who see him as this snake that's like selling these tickets to this event that's so overpriced and he's just scamming people. And he's over here like focusing in on the people that he's actually serving. But then there's
Yeah.
this sacred part of seeing that you probably will be the villain in people's stories because the people that
Yeah.
are seeing him as a villain are the people who are on a journey of learning how to not lean on the walking stick or
Yeah.
to not blame someone for like not healing them when really you're supposed to heal yourself through their
Mhm.
guidance and modalities. And it's just
Yeah.
so perfect. Like, and he probably understands this. Like, it's just that acceptance of this is what I said in the video that I made about willing to be misunderstood and judged by others is also this willingness to not control the role that you play in other people's lives. Because on that full spectrum of being misunderstood, not that we have to claim this and this has to happen every time, but there can be a possibility of you being seen as the villain. And
Yeah.
to be okay with that is probably like such a freeing, liberating thing for one to do for themselves.
Yeah. It's all in the effort to liberate the soul.
Yeah.
Like, your soul is free. You're living your life, fulfilling your thing, taking action on the things that matter to you, living up to the things that you value. Fucking good to go, dude.
Right.
Like, that's, yeah.
Yeah. So beautiful. All right. I guess we'll wrap this up. Oh, wow. It's been an hour. I didn't even realize that. I feel like we just fell into a vortex.
I know that keeps happening. We like drop into one subject and then this comes in and
Yeah.
it's cool though. It all really gets tied together.
Yeah. We're in
Wow.
the field for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Check out all of our happenings in the links below. We got a lot happening in the world of Ohm. I guess we can also repeat here that we are about to open up doors, or they are open by the time this comes out,
Yep.
to Portal Round 2, baby. So if you want to come on a 6-month journey with us, that's freaking banana land. Check out the link below because it is quite the experience. You can check out the testimonials from our last round. Yeah, I won't say much. You'll probably be hearing us talk about this more and the details of it, but definitely feel free to check out the special offering that we have below. It is the flash sale, right? Is that what we're calling it? The flash sale?
Yeah. If you're listening to, depends when you're listening, but if you're listening to this in real time on October 13th and you're in that 48-hour window, there's an epic sale going on.
Yeah, just check out the link below. It has all the information of the different sales periods and all of that good stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, hit the follow button. If you're listening on Apple Pod, it really helps us and just supports us in what we do every day. This is our full-time gig here. So all of the support that we receive from you guys is so appreciated and we just love you all so much. If you're listening on Spotify, you can actually leave a comment below and we can engage with you in the below section, the comments section on Spotify. And also if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment there as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.